Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge. Let's talk horror. Today, really words can't express what's going on today. I'm joined by the beautiful and the amazing Eileen Dietz. Eileen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, except it's like 100 degrees outside in LA. It's really, really hot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm almost speechless. Pazuzu, the demon from The Exorcist, a woman so beautiful could play something so terrifying that it's touched us all. I have a really good friend, Adam Leader. He actually just directed and wrote the movie Hosts over in the UK, co-director, co-writer, and he has the Pazuzu face tattooed on his arm. Like
Why didn't he put me in the movie?
Yeah, I know, right?
He should have put me in the movie. I
totally
love going
agree.
back and forth to the UK. I've been there several times.
I'm going to have to send him some of your contact info because I think you and him he would be ecstatic to work with you. I can tell you that right now.
But he just did his movie.
That boy's got nothing but ideas. Trust me.
That'd be great.
You would love him. I promise.
Okay.
Like I said, you guys know her as that. Also a plethora of horror movies. She's been in some of the most awesome legendary movies in the horror genre. I mean, one that I love, even though a lot of people talk, Clownado, you were a part of that. That is so much fun. But not only that, not only is she an amazing actress, she is also an author. This is her book right here. It is called Exorcising My Demons, An Actress's Journey to the Exorcist and Beyond. And the coolest thing about this, to Sledgehammer Horror, this means the world to me. This is one of my favorite things in the whole world. You are a very busy lady. Quarantine, I know, has been kind of crazy. But can you tell us about what you're working on right now, some of the things you have coming up?
I sure can. I just completed this incredible film called Clown Motel 2, Till Death Do Us Part. Obviously, there was a Clown Motel 1, which people should probably pick up right now, especially if you're looking for stuff to watch. But I played the queen of the clowns, and I got to do stuff that I've really never done in my career. I got to be regal and royal and quite a bitch, actually. But I have one very vulnerable scene. It was really fun. We shot in these caves in the desert in Nevada. It was 110, 12 degrees. But, you know, the thing I like about shooting indies is that in order to want to do them, you know, for much less money and no accoutrements, you have to be passionate about the project. And everybody is, and that's a lot of fun. Plus, we followed all the social distancing and masks and stuff like that. But we shot in these caves, and apparently there was one point where my character, me, you know, said, I feel an entity has entered the room. And I swear, as God is my witness, the wind came up and blew my hair. Like, whoa. And everybody was watching going, wow, it happened twice. So it's a really, really fun film, and I can highly recommend it. And then
I'm so excited.
I can highly recommend it. And I think if you get Clown Motel 1, I think Clown Motel 2, Till Death Do Us Part, is a better movie. And then I'm going to Oregon in 2 weeks to shoot something totally different. Clown Motel 2 had about 45 people coming in and out at one time. They shot at the Clown Motel, which is about 45 minutes out of Vegas, I think. Maybe it's an hour, I don't know, because I wasn't there. So as opposed to that, I'm going to Oregon, and it's a very small thriller. I think there's maybe 6 people I think there's like 6 people in the cast or something like that. But it's what happens after a home invasion, because you never really see what happens to the people. You see the horror and blah, blah, blah. But there is a killing, and the father just becomes totally acrophobic. He can't leave the house. And whenever he walks the door, he sees his wife, his dead wife. And the boy is just as freaked out, you know, looking for his mother, who he thinks is in the house. Anyway, it's a great little thriller. And I've worked for Jason twice before. And a film called God Only Knows His Own, and another thing called Paper Dragons. So that's Jason Hawkins, and it's his film, and it's produced by the same people who did Clown Motel, which was Joseph Kelly and his partner in crime or thriller, Angie Joseph. So that's what's coming up immediately. And as long as I'm doing this, I have a couple films that are coming out right before Halloween. One is Compatible, which I shot in Denver during Christmas, which is about an on-site dating, dating thing.
Like a dating app?
Yeah, that goes terribly, terribly wrong. People on the app can see what's going on and can approve of the guy that the woman, my daughter, is dating, and it just goes terribly wrong. So that's called Compatible. That's gonna probably come out in the spring, along with Clown Motel. And I did another film with Thomas Churchill, who directs a lot of stuff, called Amityville Harvest. And that's really fun too. And you have to see what happens to my character at the end. It's scary.
So any
that's
links?
coming out during Halloween. And if I think about what else, another film we did called Dark Offerings, that I think was the first film shot adhering to all COVID-19 requirements. In other words, nobody left their house. Everything was done kind of on self-tapes and stuff like that. And the plot is about this woman's brother is possessed. Of course, I play the demon. And the only way he can get unpossessed is to possess 6 other people. So union online of everybody that they went to school with. And so that's coming out really soon before Thanksgiving.
So where,
before
you know where they'll be coming out at? Where we'll be able to watch
so,
them at?
if you put that on the website, because people...
Yeah, do you know what avenue are they coming out on? What services they'll be out on, or?
Oh, I think, fortunately, they're going to be on all streaming websites. I think. I don't know.
We'll have all the links down here in the description as soon as they come out.
And all of that. Yes, of course. Yeah. And I should also mention my manager, Chris Rowe, who's amazing and handles people like Malcolm McDowell and Bruce Davison and Meg Foster and stuff like that. And me. Without him, none of this would be happening. He discovered me and, it started horror conventions for The Exorcist and got me out there. And I'm very, very grateful. So his name is Chris Rowe. And he's working on several projects his own.
I said, we thank him as well, because if we didn't have you, like I said, you're a huge influence on all of us. So you haunted our nightmares, but you're one of the most amazing women I've ever had the privilege to talk to. Every time I talk to you, it's such an honor. So
you make me blush.
No, Chris Rowe, thank you, because you have the eye, my friend. You picked a good one.
Yeah, and also, you mentioned my book, so I'll do a little pitch on it. The whole beginning of the book is, well, first of all, it's about dreams and choices we make in life. And, part of it is if you have a dream, something you want to do, there's a lot of negativity out there. Don't let them make you stop it. I don't care. It doesn't have to be an actor or a director or a producer. It can be someone who wants to open a shop or, a wardrobe shop, or someone who just wants to be a mom. Anything that you want to do in life that's very precious to you, go ahead and do it. And either don't talk about it to people who you're going to get a negative feedback. I don't know why there's such negativity out there. Like jealousy, I don't know. But that's the first pitfall. pitfalls, because I totally believe that we as actors and athletes and people like that, we need a really strong support system. We need someone who will say no. And I didn't have one. So I made mistakes in my life. But then I got Chris, and he'll go, no. So I listened to him. And then the book goes on how I got my career started, this little flat-chested, buck-toothed little girl from New York, where everybody did say, oh, you're not pretty enough. You're not sexy enough. What makes you think that you can be an actress when 100,000 other people have this dream? And I went, I didn't care. So that's what the book starts. And it was, I didn't actually write it. I talked it. And it's co-written by a man named Dan Louvier. And it's very funny and it's very sad. But when I was 7, I knew I wanted to be an actress, and my mom took us to see Peter Pan, and in a Broadway theater. I grew up in New York, and I sat there. I remember this, and I thought, and then I thought, what if I miss, and land in the audience, and so I fell asleep. So that's the kind of thing that's in the book. I also had a real Me Too experience in my first summer stop, and that's sad. But Dan is a terrific writer. And then we go into everything you wanted to know about The Exorcist. My audition, how I got the job, what I did, meeting Dick Smith, doing a screen test, and the first day on the set. And I tried to think of very funny things, because a lot of people know, oh, answering questions, did this really happen? That really happened, which is one of the biggest questions that's ever asked me. But I try and think funny things that happen on the set.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of evil things that we hear.
And if you want to hear more about it, I really ask people to either Facebook me. Sorry?
I said there's definitely a lot of evil things that you hear about that happened on that set. So to be able to hear some of the funny and lighthearted things would be very nice to read.
Yeah, and Shudder did an incredible show. It's called Cursed, and it's about films that they came over here and did an interview, and it's about films that they feel are cursed. But there you go. So I encourage people to either give me a personal message on Facebook, and also you can be my friend on Facebook. I keep getting close to 5,000, but then I keep getting rid of people that I kind of disagree with or aren't there anymore. Or if you don't have, for some reason, you don't have Facebook or something like that, I encourage anybody can email me at eileen@eileendietz.com. So should we talk about Pazuzu?
Yeah, that's all those links are down here in the description as well. Her Facebook, her email. I would strongly recommend picking this up, because not only are you going to get an amazing read, you're also I'm so excited to be able to read this. Like I said, you're a hero to a lot of us. The Exorcist changed a lot of us, and you were a huge part of that. You know, that face, that blink. I mean, it's so I don't want to say minute, but that to everybody is one of the things that we remember the most about that film. Now, let's get into Pazuzu a little bit. You know, landing that role.
No, I'm so fortunate, and like I have to. I mean, Dick Smith, who of course was the makeup artist. There'd be no Pazuzu without Dick, and we became very close friends. He passed about 2 or 3 years ago now. We became very close friends. But he created Pazuzu. It was a makeup test that they did that I actually do have a photograph on. There's a whole bunch of photographs on my feed right now, because someone wanted to see one to buy one. So without Dick there. And so that was a makeup test. And we actually shot that the very last day of the shooting. And I had a commercial shoot that same day. And if you want to find out how we took care of both, you have to read the book. But it's really great. And the crew really helped me. Dun, 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 dun. This is Pazuzu.
There it is.
Pazuzu is about 1 foot tall, made out of resin, so it's very fragile. And believe it or not, Pazuzu was a fallen angel. But believe it or not, some people believe that Pazuzu is like a gargoyle, and they will guard your house, and it especially takes care of pregnant ladies. That's what they say.
Right. Well,
Otherwise, they're just gonna scare you. There you go. And you can sell me online too. If you want to buy one, then get in touch with me.
that is incredible. So those Pazuzus, those are also for sale?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
To find out prices and stuff like that, I just ask people to email me or Facebook me.
Yep. And like I said, guys, those are down here. This is incredible. After this is over, you and I are going to be talking about a Pazuzu, just so you know. So that's something I'd like to talk to you about once we're done with this. So let's get into the reason you're here. First of all, again, before we go any farther, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. This is huge for me. You are amazing. You are really helping me to make a dream come true just by being able to have a conversation with you, Eileen. So thank you so much for doing this. But I want to know what started horror for you? Somebody that has influenced me, that I'm a huge fan of, the first horror movie that you've seen, and that was?
Psycho! The original Psycho with Tony Perkins.
What a way to start. I mean, to me, we've talked about it on the show before. One of the most iconic horror movies, not only because of the ending, but I mean the score, like everything about this movie is perfect. I love this movie. I love Hitchcock in general. A lot of people argue, but this is my favorite Hitchcock film. I know The Birds is fantastic. Hitchcock has done a lot, but to me, Psycho is the epitome of greatness. So, do you know about how old you were the first time you seen it? I think I might have lost you, Eileen. Oh, there you are.
Oh, you went away for a minute.
Yeah.
No, I don't, and I'm not going to tell you anyway.
Okay, that's fine.
And I think the second thing that I was really, really proud of. I mean, I saw all the the Swedish films or the Berlin films, which are kind of scary. But the second thing I'm really aware of, and people ask me what I think the scariest movie is, and that was Night of the Living. And thank you, George Romero, who was also a client of Christmas, by the way. And I met him several times. I called him the friendly giant because I'm 5'1" and he's 6'3". So
right.
I came up to his belly button. And I have pictures to show of me and George too, but they're not, George didn't sign them. But that movie, I saw it in New York City alone. And no, I wasn't alone. I was with we were both so young. And they didn't have, you could see any movie then except X-rated films. There were no ratings. So we were very young. And wow, I walked home in New York City. And I thought there was a zombie behind every post, every garbage can. I mean, it really, really terrified me and stayed with me for a very long time.
Oh, and understandably so. That's one of the movies that I think is absolutely brilliant as well. I'm a huge George Romero fan, and that started with Night of the Living Dead. And I think even the remake, the color version that Tom Savini did, I love that as well. Dawn of the Dead, I am a huge fan of. George Romero.
Dawn of the Dead is one of my me and my husband and I's favorite film. As much as Night of the Living Dead, because I saw it older, not with Thomaso. I just think it's remarkable film. And a lot of times, if we're in a mall or sometimes walking through Las Vegas, something like that, and people look like zombies from Dawn of the Dead. They're just walking around, like they don't know where they're going. And it always reminds us of Dawn of the Dead. George really tapped on something very important there. And his last two films, they didn't do that well. But you guys, like I keep saying, if you either can't go to movie theaters right now or don't want to. I don't want to. In fact, we've been on lockdown. The only thing I did was go to Boulder to shoot Clown Motel 2, and I go to my You know, that's basically it, the grocery store and the post office. But anyway, you guys that are just sitting there, check out Diary. I think it's Diary of the Dead. It's the last, and Survival of the Dead and Diary of the Dead.
See, I have Diary of the Dead, and it's a great found footage zombie film. I'm a big fan of Diary of the Dead. I bought that the day it came out on DVD. That's another one. I haven't seen Survival of the Dead yet, but I have seen Diary, and I love it. I love found footage films. I love zombies, and George Romero put them together perfectly.
They're both very political, and I'd like to see them again, but I think they're both very relevant right now. So you guys, you have a whole list of films you have to see. So, George's films, my films, you know.
And that you can't go wrong with either one, like I said. And Eileen, I'm so excited about these new films you have coming out. As soon as you have release dates, please let me know so I can put it up on Twitter and Instagram. I want to watch, not just for the fans, but for me as well. You know, I'm a huge fan, so I want to watch these. I want to trickle back to Psycho real quick. Which scene from Psycho do you think affected you the most?
That I shot?
No, what from the movie Psycho? Which scene from watching that affected you the most?
Probably the shower scene.
Yeah.
You know what I forgot to mention, which is one of my favorite jobs, is General Hospital. I did that for 2 years, and I played a patient in a mental hospital. No kidding. And her name was Sarah. I love that character. And you know, my roommate was psychotic. Sarah was messed up, and we actually got almost as much mail as Luke and Laura. For you people out there that remember Luke and Laura, and it was just fabulous doing that.
Well, General Hospital wasn't the only soap opera you were a part of, was it?
No, the first soap opera I ever did was called The Doctors. I had one line, and I just remember being so terrified and repeating that line over and over again. And then I did a PBS special with Sam Waterston from Law and Order about pollution. All the young playwrights at the time wrote about pollution, and they all came true now. So it's just kind of remarkable.
Right. And it's funny because I've always known you from the horror stuff, but looking at your filmography, you've done a lot of work in a lot of different fields. And it's something that I would strongly recommend you guys check it out, because I didn't realize the full length of your filmography. Like, you are a goddess. Like, you are a hard worker. No, I
was going to tell you before, after we talked about Psycho, I did a play called Steam Bath in New York City, down on the east side. And Tony was the director.
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
How weird is that? And ironically, I think it's, we went through actually 4 leads in the show. And they all got fired. And then Tony took over the part, which is what he really wanted to do. And I was understudying the lead in the show. And I finally got to go on, and there was a shower scene, but you have to read my book to find out about that.
Yeah.
And I just remember Tony, you know, sitting there wanting me to go faster, and because he was in the wings, and he kept going like this. I thought that was very ironic.
Right.
Yeah,
while you're doing a shower scene to...
You know, the first film I ever saw was with Tony, and then I ended up doing the play with him.
Right.
And we became friends too. He was so gracious and generous. And my mom came to New York, and he got us orchestra row seats to see the film about the blind horses, which escapes me now. But all of that is talked about in my book.
Which we're going to keep. I'm so excited to read this. Like I said, this is something that once you told me about it, I was so excited to jump on board and be a part of it. I want to ask, you were just talking about Tony and Psycho being the first film. How much as an actress do you think that film influenced you?
I don't think it did.
No.
I fell into the horror genre after I did The Exorcist, really.
Okay.
Before that, my first film was called Teenage gang devs. But we only killed each other with knives. We didn't have AK-40s then.
All
It's
right.
a real, and that's online too. You can see me as a kind of a child. My boyfriend's name was Piggy. And you know what I need to do? I'm sorry, it's another promo. These are films that are out now that you can find. I did a film called The Ascent for the great and amazing Perry Teo. He's just this incredible director that I also worked with twice. And The Ascent is a wonderful horror film that's out now. And, the other one just went out of my head. 100 Acres of Hell, which is another thriller by Jason Kohner and Ernie Davis and Stacy Toy, who is the producer. And it involves two wrestlers. I know not about the WWE, so I can't even tell you who they are, but it involves two famous wrestlers. And I think that's on most streaming things, along with Clownado, which was a Todd Sheets film. Really, more clowns. But these clowns are kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Clownado's a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, so, you saw Clownado?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's really sex, drugs, and rock and roll, but I don't think there's any drugs. But it's real fun. It's a real grunge film. And that was done by Todd Sheets, and his producer was Amanda Payton. So that's all I can think of right now.
No, that's fine. Something I always ask everybody. We talked about your first horror movie, which was Psycho. Now I want to dig deep here a little bit. If you had to choose one, what would you say your favorite horror movie of all time is? I know it's a hard question.
No, it really is. Because I have them. My mind is just going blank. Surely horror, the first Halloween. Well, favorite? No, they're just films that I enjoy besides all the Dead films. I think I have to go back to the Dead films and say that was it. The original Creepshow 3. They're just all films that I really, really enjoyed. My friend Marilyn Burns and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which, by the way, I did a signing show at the gas station in Texas. And they have the original gas station from Texas Chainsaw. And I said, why do you want me down there? I had nothing to do with Texas Chainsaw. And they said, you'll see. And it was absolutely amazing. They have a barbecue restaurant in the back. And humbly speaking, the lines ran all day, Saturday and Sunday. It was amazing. And Roy and his wife, Lisa, are just amazing people. And I don't have it in front of me, but at that show, I got a little Exorcist doll that it walks, it talks, and it says 3 lines from the film.
Oh, that's awesome.
So cool. So I forgot to bring it. Hey, Thomas. I thought maybe he was around. And
well, that's so cool to hear that kind of stuff.
Grab it off the shelf.
Even though you were in it, you're still a fan and you still like to collect memorabilia. That's really cool.
Oh, yeah, but I also sell them.
Right.
And I sell Exorcist scripts. And my website is going up in a week or two. And it's Eileen, EileenDietz.com. So that might be fun to check out, too.
Yep. That's also down here in the description.
I feel like an infomercial.
Right.
And not only that, if you buy the statue, you can get a free 8x10 photograph. Only here, not found in stores.
All I need is a little ticker at the bottom.
So, and I have yeah, exactly. No call, but go to EileenDietz.com or Eileen Dietz on Facebook. All of that, because I know I sell beanies and I have these wonderful little greeting cards that have to be seen to be believed. It's a little girl in the bed spewing vomit on a priest, and it says, have a good day. So I do have my own little store. But yeah, I'm sorry, I hope this whole thing doesn't sound like a big promotion. Yeah.
No, I'm more than happy to do that for you.
Especially now with, well, it's because especially now with, all the conventions shut down and all I've been fortunate to shoot the films I did. And I did
Yeah.
that film, Dark Offerings, at home. That I've been really fortunate to be able to find work and also to sell my merchandise because, it brings money in.
Yeah, and that's what I say. A lot of people don't realize that, you guys are shut down too. Your lives are being affected just as much as us. So these are the type of things that we got to do to help each other out, to help,
And totally shut down. I mean, SAG production in LA is totally shut down. It affects everybody, the prop shops, the lighting guys, the grips, the craft service. Everybody is hurting. So please wear masks. And the guy from the CDC, he said that wearing masks can help just as much or more as the vaccine. So
That's what I've heard.
Please, I know it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to me. I have incredible allergies, but please, not for yourself, but to protect me and you, and and everybody out there. So, hey, maybe I should sell Exorcist face masks.
Well,
actually, my friend Dave Bailey had an Exorcist face mask on the set of Clown Motel.
That's awesome. And see, we were talking about wearing masks and how important
that is. Go out there and vote. Vote.
That is so important.
I bet you people out there have never voted because you said it doesn't make any difference. Let me tell you, it does. Mm-hmm. Vote. Either from home, send it in a mail-in ballot. It's not fraud. It won't be lost. Or go wait online. Or what's also cool is you can fill out an absentee ballot and drop it off at your polling place, so you don't have to stand in line.
Yep, I'm gonna be doing a whole special episode about the importance of voting as well. And you were talking about masks and how important that is. My wife is a respiratory therapist in our hometown, so COVID is something in this house we take very, very serious.
Is that what you do when you're not doing this?
No, my wife. She's a respiratory therapist. She's way braver than me. I work at a Napa auto parts store. That's all I know. She's the hero of the family. She's amazing. She's so smart, and that's all she ever says. Just wear masks, social distance, wash your hands, be safe. And like I said, she's an angel. She saves people. She's really my heroine. Like, she's the best. So I have
such admiration for those people. I don't know how they do it.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I tell people. I say, just please wear your masks, because when you don't and you get sick, it's my wife that you go see, and you're risking her and me and my kids. So please be safe. Please be smart. Social distance. Like Eileen said, wearing the mask, I know it's uncomfortable. Mine's with me all the time. I just took it off so I could film this episode with Eileen. It's something so important, guys. And the quicker we could beat this, the quicker we could get back to some semblance of normalcy. So I don't want to get too political, but like Eileen said, please just do what's best for everybody. Wear your mask, stay safe, clean yourself up, wash your hands. November 3rd or before, make sure you're voting. Whether you're the left wing or the right wing, we're part of the same eagle, you guys. We got to come together. We got to do what's best for our country. Get out there and vote. Use your head. Have some intelligence. Think about yourself and the other people around you, and just be safe. Vote. Wear your
absolutely. Mask. And, be smart. Do your research. Find out what's going on now with the current administration and COVID and Black Lives Matter and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to do any more than that. But please do your research. And I know a lot of young people are watching this, and it might be your very first time you ever vote. And I got to tell you, we talked about my first movie. Voting is very exciting. You really, really feel you've done something very, very important. And in New York, they used to have those booths with a lever, and you would vote, and then you pull the lever closed, and then you put it open. And man, it was so exciting. And I've never lost that thrill about voting. And I really don't think I've ever missed any election before, because not only is it for president, of course, it's for the Senate. And, if you agree with all these things, you got to vote for the senators that believe in, getting rid of COVID and all that kind of stuff. So you got to vote for the Senate. as well as the top and Congress. I mean, there's a lot of things to vote for out there. And I know I'm going on and on, but it's very, very important.
Super important. This is absolutely so important. I'm so glad you brought it up, because I don't like to get political, because I don't want to argue with anybody. I won't express my political views, and that's because I don't want to put you on any type of spot or make you feel uncomfortable in any way. But I have my beliefs. November 3rd, I will be voting for change. So that's what I'm hoping you guys will do. Well, like I said, whether you're left or right wing, it's the same eagle, guys. And it's
well,
so important that
hopefully
we
you
come
guys
together.
out there watch the debate. 73 million people turned into the debate. It beat the Super Bowl, it beat the Oscars. 73 million people watched that fiasco.
Well, and we need to vote. It's more important now than it's ever been. Rock the vote. I remember all that from being in school, but I feel like now it's even more important. We have so much at stake. Make your voice heard. That's so important. Your vote counts. So we almost out of time here, Eileen, but I do always ask one question to end these. Skull count is what I call it. The original Psycho, we're going to rank that on a scale of 0 being the worst, 5 being the best. What is your ranking of the original Psycho of 0 to 5 skulls?
Oh, 5, of course.
I thought so.
And I love black and white movies, so please don't let that stop you. And you guys that like horror, look at the old horror films, even before, like the Halloween and all of that, like Rosemary's
You were talking
Baby.
Night of the Living Dead. That's a perfect black and white film.
Which one?
Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, of course, yeah. And I think I told you I saw this little horror film when I was a kid, called Scream of Fear. Susie Strasberg, daughter of the legendary Lee Strasberg, and that movie just totally stayed with me. I don't know why.
And that's why we love.
Hey, Thomas, can you quickly grab one of my dolls?
Yeah.
One of my walking, talking dolls?
Sure.
Okay, we have to stay on for...
No, you're fine. Tell him I said thank you, because I'm so excited to see this.
Yeah, he just happened to walk out this minute. I hope you can find it. It should be right on my shelf. So, yeah, there's a whole lot of, besides the Dead films and Rosemary's Baby. And
I don't think there's a battery in it.
oh, I'm not going to make it work. Here she is.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you just have to take my word for it that she talks, because it doesn't have a battery.
Right.
Isn't she cute?
And are those
But she
going to be
does.
on the website as well?
She says, yeah. She goes, "It's a wonderful day for an exorcism." and then she goes, just laughs. And she says a third thing, which I can't think of right now. But she walks and talks.
Remember,
So
guys,
that's her.
Facebook. Find Eileen Dietz on Facebook. Message her there, or EileenDietz.com. Also, her email, EileenDietz@gmail.com.
No. That's Eileen Dietz 11 at gmail.com or Eileen at EileenDietz.com.
That's what it is. Okay. But all that's down here in the description anyway, so that way I don't have to fumble across it and mess you guys all up. So make sure you're going down here in the description, checking the stuff out. Who doesn't want one of those Pazuzu or Exorcist dolls? I can tell you, by the time this airs, one of those will be sitting right here on here for the next episode that I do. So
I also sell the little Pazuzu head that they find at the beginning of the film. And that comes in its own little plastic case.
I'm so excited. Don't go anywhere, Eileen. I got a couple more questions for you. Everybody else, remember, stay what you are, keep talking horror, and we'll see you guys soon.
You're great. This was really fun.